It was supposed to be just another ordinary Wednesday morning for Margaret Wilson. At 67, she had developed a comfortable routine over the years, a morning walk around her Minneapolis neighborhood, followed by what she proudly called her power breakfast. For Margaret, this meant 2 scrambled eggs with a side of her favorite breakfast treats. Her children and grandchildren often teased her about being so predictable, but Margaret insisted this routine kept her going strong. Mom was always so proud of her healthy daily breakfast, recalls her daughter Sarah, her voice still shaking slightly. Who could have imagined that those food combinations would send her to the emergency room? The doctor told us if we'd been just 30 minutes later, we might have lost her, all because of something as simple as what she ate with her eggs. Sarah's words hang in the air, heavy with the realization that sometimes the most dangerous threats to our health aren't obvious. They hide in plain sight, in the everyday combinations of foods we've been eating for decades without a second thought. What happened to Margaret isn't as rare as you might think. Studies show that more than 75% of Americans over 60 consume eggs weekly. They're affordable, versatile, and packed with nutrients that become increasingly important as we age. Yet, shockingly, only about 12% are aware of potentially dangerous food interactions that can occur when eggs are paired with certain common foods. These interactions aren't just about reducing nutrient absorption, though that's certainly important. For seniors especially, when digestive and immune systems have naturally weakened with age, certain food combinations can trigger serious reactions. What might cause mild discomfort in a younger person can lead to severe inflammation, nutrient deficiencies, or even emergency situations for older adults. This information isn't meant to frighten you away from eggs, quite the opposite. Eggs remain one of nature's most complete foods, especially valuable for seniors. What matters is knowing which 3 common foods should never be paired with eggs and the simple alternatives that allow you to enjoy eggs safely while maximizing their health benefits. By the end of this article, you'll understand exactly which 3 foods should never be combined with eggs, why these combinations are particularly problematic for older adults, and the simple adjustments you can make to your meals to protect yourself and your loved ones. This knowledge could help you avoid potential health problems, optimize your nutrition, and maintain a healthy lifestyle for years to come. Let's dive deeper into understanding why these food combinations deserve your attention, especially as we get older. Eggs have long been considered a nutritional powerhouse, and for good reason. They provide high-quality protein that's especially crucial for older adults who often struggle to get enough protein in their diets. A single egg delivers essential nutrients like vitamin D for bone health, B12 for nerve function, and choline for brain health. All nutrients that become more difficult to absorb or produce naturally as we age. Despite these benefits, many seniors reduce their egg consumption due to declining taste sensitivity, chewing difficulties, or outdated concerns about cholesterol. Dr. Melissa Rodriguez, a geriatric nutritionist at the University of Minnesota, explains, "The protein and nutrient density of eggs make them ideal for older adults who typically need more nutrients from less food. Unfortunately, many seniors who would benefit most from eggs are either not eating them or consuming them in combinations that diminish their benefits or, worse, create potential health risks." This brings us to a critical but often overlooked aspect of nutrition for aging bodies: how our digestive and immune systems change as we grow older. The aging process naturally affects our entire digestive tract. Stomach acid production decreases, making it harder to break down foods properly. The pancreas produces fewer digestive enzymes. The composition of gut bacteria, which plays a crucial role in immune function and digestion, shifts significantly. Even the gut lining itself becomes more permeable, potentially allowing partially digested food particles to enter the bloodstream, where they can trigger inflammation. These changes don't just impact how we digest food, they fundamentally alter how our bodies respond to different food combinations. Dr. James Chen, gastroenterologist specializing in geriatric care at Mayo Clinic, notes, "Food combinations that cause no issues in your 40s might trigger significant problems in your 70s. The body's tolerance for certain interactions decreases, while inflammatory responses often increase. This is especially true when it comes to eggs. Their complex structure makes them uniquely vulnerable to problematic interactions with certain foods. Eggs contain numerous bioactive compounds that can react with components in other foods in ways that might be neutral or even beneficial for younger adults, but potentially harmful for seniors. Dr. Robert Chang has spent over 2 decades studying nutritional interactions in aging populations. At his laboratory at Mayo Clinic, he's investigated hundreds of cases involving adverse reactions from improper egg combinations. His findings have been eye-opening for the medical community. Eggs are wonderful for older adults, Dr. Chang emphasizes, but how you combine them can transform them from a superfood into a potential health hazard. The 3 most problematic combinations we've identified are surprisingly common in American breakfast habits. Most seniors consume at least one of these combinations regularly without realizing the risks. Margaret Wilson, whose emergency room visit we mentioned earlier, was unknowingly creating one of these risky combinations every single morning. As we explore these 3 dangerous food pairings, you'll understand exactly what happened to Margaret and how to ensure the same thing doesn't happen to you or someone you love. Let's start with the first food that you should never combine with eggs: refined white sugar. This includes the sugar in your morning pastries, sweetened breakfast cereals, or that teaspoon you might add to make your scrambled eggs less bitter. The problem occurs at a molecular level. When the proteins in eggs combine with refined sugar, they create compounds called advanced glycation end deposits, or AGEs. While this chemical reaction happens with many protein-sugar combinations, it's particularly pronounced with eggs due to their specific amino acid profile. For younger adults with robust metabolic systems, these AGEs are processed and eliminated relatively efficiently. But for older adults, AGEs tend to accumulate in tissues throughout the body, creating significant inflammation. This inflammation has been conclusively linked to an increased risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and cognitive decline, all conditions already of significant concern for seniors. Dr. Chang's research demonstrated that seniors who regularly consumed eggs with high sugar foods showed inflammatory markers up to 40% higher than those who ate eggs with non-sugary foods. The most concerning aspect, notes Dr. Chang, is that these inflammatory responses often occur without immediate obvious symptoms. The damage accumulates silently over months and years. Frank Peterson, a 72-year-old retired high school principal from Wisconsin, experienced this firsthand. For years, Frank's favorite breakfast was scrambled eggs alongside a sweet roll or pastry. After being diagnosed with unexplained chronic inflammation and pre-diabetic markers, his doctor referred him to a nutritionist who identified this food combination as a potential contributor. "I was skeptical at first," Frank admits. "How could foods I'd eaten together my whole life suddenly be causing problems?" But I agreed to separate my egg meals from sugary foods for 3 months as an experiment. The results surprised even his doctor. Frank's inflammatory markers decreased by nearly 30%, and his blood sugar levels stabilized. "I didn't change anything else in my diet," Frank explains. "I still eat eggs almost daily, and I still enjoy my sweet treats occasionally, just never at the same meal anymore." Such a simple change, but it made a remarkable difference. If you enjoy sweetness with your eggs, healthier alternatives do exist. Natural fruit sugars don't create the same problematic reaction. Try topping your eggs with diced fresh berries, sliced banana, or a small amount of avocado and tomato for a naturally sweet contrast. If baking with eggs, consider substituting refined sugar with mashed bananas, unsweetened applesauce, or a modest amount of pure maple syrup or honey, which contain beneficial antioxidants that partially counteract AGE formation. The second dangerous combination with eggs involves processed meats containing nitrates and nitrites: bacon, sausage, ham, and many deli meats. This classic American breakfast pairing is particularly troubling from a health perspective, especially for older adults. When the sulfur compounds abundant in eggs combine with the nitrates and nitrites used to preserve processed meats, They can form nitrosamines, potent carcinogenic compounds linked to increased cancer risk. This chemical reaction is accelerated by the high-heat cooking methods typically used for breakfast, like frying and grilling. An extensive Harvard study tracking more than 120,000 people over 28 years found that individuals who regularly consumed eggs with processed meats showed an 18% higher risk of colorectal cancer compared to those who ate eggs with other protein sources. For adults over 65, this risk increased to 27%, suggesting that aging bodies are less equipped to deal with these harmful compounds. Elizabeth Carter's experience illustrates this connection. At 65, this retired nurse from Florida received a frightening diagnosis: precancerous polyps in her colon. Her gastroenterologist asked about her diet, and Elizabeth mentioned her lifelong habit of enjoying a traditional American breakfast: eggs with bacon or sausage, nearly every morning. My doctor explained how this combination I'd eaten for decades might have contributed to my condition, Elizabeth shares. It was hard to accept that something so commonplace could be harmful, but the evidence was literally inside my body. Elizabeth worked with a nutritionist to redesign her breakfast routine. She still enjoys eggs several times weekly, but pairs them with fresh proteins like smoked salmon, turkey breast without preservatives, or plant-based proteins like beans and legumes. 6 months after changing just this one habit, my follow-up showed significantly improved markers. My doctor was impressed with how such a targeted dietary change could make such a difference. If you love the convenience and flavor of processed meats with your eggs, consider healthier alternatives: home-roasted turkey or chicken breast, wild-caught salmon, or plant-based proteins like black beans or chickpeas. These provide excellent protein without the harmful preservatives. When you do occasionally enjoy processed meats, try not to consume them in the same meal as eggs. Perhaps have your eggs at breakfast and save the deli sandwich for lunch. The third problematic combination brings us back to Margaret Wilson's emergency room visit: eggs consumed with iron supplements or iron-fortified foods. This interaction is particularly dangerous because it often occurs under the guise of health-conscious behavior. Eggs contain two compounds that interfere with iron absorption. The protein avidin, found primarily in egg whites, especially raw or undercooked, binds with iron and prevents its absorption. Additionally, phosphorus compounds in the yolk can form complexes with iron that the body struggles to break down, particularly in aging digestive systems. For younger adults with robust iron stores and efficient absorption, this interaction might cause minimal issues. But for seniors, especially those already taking iron supplements due to deficiency, this combination can lead to persistent iron deficiency despite supplementation. Iron deficiency in older adults can cause fatigue, cognitive impairment, and increased fall risk, the leading cause of injury, death in adults over 65. Margaret had been diagnosed with mild anemia at 65. Her doctor prescribed an iron supplement, which she dutifully took each morning with her breakfast, those same eggs she believed were keeping her healthy. Despite perfect adherence to her supplementation regimen, her iron levels continued to drop precipitously. Mom was doing everything right, or so we thought, Sarah explains. She took her supplements exactly as prescribed, ate what she considered a nutritious breakfast, and kept all her doctor appointments. Yet her iron levels kept falling until that morning when she collapsed while getting the mail. Her body was starving for iron despite the supplements she was taking. The solution is straightforward but requires a simple change in timing. Take iron supplements at least 2 hours before or after consuming eggs. Additionally, ensure eggs are thoroughly cooked if you have iron deficiency concerns, as cooking deactivates some of the avidin that interferes with absorption. Dr. Patricia Monteiro, a hematologist specializing in geriatric care, adds an important note. Many seniors don't realize that their fortified breakfast cereals, enriched breads, and certain nutritional drinks also contain significant iron. Consuming these with eggs creates the same absorption problem as with supplements. If you take iron supplements or rely on iron-fortified foods, Consider creating an egg-free window in your daily schedule, perhaps enjoying eggs at dinner while taking supplements in the morning, or vice versa. This simple timing adjustment ensures you receive the full benefits of both nutrients. Making these changes to avoid dangerous egg combinations isn't just about preventing problems, it's about creating positive health outcomes. The National Institutes of Health has documented that older adults who optimize their food combinations experience remarkable benefits. A recent NIH study found that seniors who made informed adjustments to their food pairings reduced their risk of digestive hospitalizations by 32%. Beyond digestion, participants reported improved energy levels, decreased chronic inflammation, enhanced nutrient absorption, and better cognitive function. These statistics are impressive, but they become truly meaningful when we see them reflected in real people's lives. In Phoenix, Arizona, a group of seniors calling themselves the Eggsperts formed a club after a community lecture on food interactions raised concerns about their breakfast habits. The group meets monthly to share recipes and strategies for enjoying eggs safely. They invite nutritionists and physicians as guest speakers and maintain a community cookbook of senior-optimized egg recipes that avoid problematic combinations. Dorothy Simmons, the 78-year-old founder of the group, shares their impact. We started with just 8 members, mostly friends from my retirement community who were concerned about their health. Within 6 months, we had over 60 regular participants from across Phoenix. After implementing what we learned, 85% of our members reported significant improvements: more energy, fewer digestive complaints, better lab results. Walter Jenkins, an 83-year-old member, puts it more bluntly. I've been eating eggs my entire life, but only at age 70 did I learn how to eat them correctly. I feel like I've been reborn. My doctor asked what supplement I started taking because my inflammation markers improved so dramatically. I told him it wasn't what I started, it was what I stopped: eating eggs with the wrong foods. The success of groups like the Eggsperts demonstrates that small, targeted changes to how we combine foods can have outsized impacts on health, especially for seniors. These aren't complex dietary overhauls or restrictive elimination diets. They're simple adjustments that preserve the foods we love while maximizing their benefits. As we've explored throughout this article, eggs remain an excellent food choice for seniors when consumed in appropriate combinations. Let's review the 3 foods to avoid pairing with eggs. Refined sugar, which creates inflammatory compounds when combined with egg proteins. Processed meats containing nitrates/nitrites, which can form potentially carcinogenic compounds. And iron supplements or iron-fortified foods, which can lead to poor iron absorption and deficiency. Though these combinations are best avoided, eggs themselves continue to be a nutritional powerhouse for aging bodies. The simple adjustments we've discussed allow you to keep enjoying eggs while ensuring you receive their full benefits without unintended consequences. To implement what you've learned today, consider this simple action checklist. First, examine your refrigerator and pantry. Identify potential risk foods that you might be habitually combining with eggs. Being aware is the critical first step. Second, create a meal plan incorporating 3-5 egg recipes with safe, beneficial combinations. Try eggs with avocado and fresh tomatoes, or with roasted sweet potatoes and herbs, or alongside fresh berries for a sweet contrast, without refined sugar. Third, adjust your timing. If you take supplements containing iron, establish a schedule that separates them from your egg-containing meals by at least 2 hours. Finally, share this knowledge with loved ones, particularly older adults who might be unknowingly creating these problematic combinations. A simple conversation could help prevent serious health issues. Our food choices are among the most powerful tools we have for maintaining health as we age. Each meal presents an opportunity to nourish our bodies properly. With the knowledge you now possess about egg combinations, you're better equipped to make choices that support your health and longevity. Have you ever experienced health issues that might have been related to food combinations? Or have you made simple dietary adjustments that improved your well-being? Your experience could help others in our community. consider sharing your story with family and friends who might benefit from this information. Remember, it's never too late to make positive changes to your eating habits. Consult with your healthcare provider or registered dietitian for personalized guidance that considers your specific health conditions and nutritional needs. Every meal is an opportunity to nurture your health. Choose wisely to enjoy the vibrant, healthy years ahead.